Hey guys, it's Shannon with Colorado High Country. I just want to give you guys a quick video on some things you may consider keeping with you when you're skiing or snowboarding. This really comes in handy when you're at some of the larger resorts, places that do have some really varied terrain that you're not too familiar with. I have heard of people having to spend a night on the mountain. I've known of people just getting hurt, falling into tree wells, things like that. So it's always good to have just some backup supplies with you. And these may be some things that you never really even thought of. Okay? Now the first thing I like to keep with me is going to be some rope. Okay? I like to keep a spool of paracord with a carabiner on here. If you ever get stuck in a kind of a hole or tree well, you have a friend that gets stuck in the powder, this is really, really nice to have. You can throw them a line, get them out, or get yourself out. Also, if you've ever seen the movie where the people are stuck up on the lift chair, this would really be handy to have. So it doesn't take up much room. The next thing is an emergency blanket. This is just what a lot of people call a space blanket. It's a Mylar emergency blanket. Folds up to super small size, smaller than a wallet, but it folds out to 52 by 84 inches. So these blankets are really lightweight, and they use the heat from your body to keep you warm. It just kind of reflects off the blanket. So this comes in handy, of course, if you did need to spend the night on the mountain, or if you came across somebody that was hurt, you can kind of warm them up a little bit. Also, sun is super strong when you're skiing or snowboarding. I always try to put on sunblock at home, but I keep a few of these little packets with me in my bag. Next thing, I like to keep some sort of a little tool with me. This is just a little multi-tool by Swiss Tech. It's got screwdrivers on it and a pair of pliers. If you ever get stuck somewhere where you have a loose binding on your ski or snowboard and you're not somewhere near a tool bench or anything like that, you can whip this baby out and tighten it up right on the spot. So that's another good thing to have. The next thing is just a compact lighter. These are super small. You better to have one than not have one. If you ever have to make a fire or even melt something together, you never know when you're going to need this. Okay. Another thing is some sort of food. Usually I just have a granola bar or something like this with me, a power bar. I try not to eat it even if I'm hungry, if I'm just skiing on a normal day or snowboarding, but if I do eat it, I always replace it and always make sure to have that. You never know if you're gonna, be stuck somewhere and need a few bites of something. And one other thing I keep with me is a little bit of cash. I don't like to bring a wallet with me or credit cards, so I throw a little cash in there as well. And one of the most important things is a little baggie like this. The nice thing is, if you are stuck somewhere and you may need some water, so you can throw some snow in here, melt it up, and you've got water. Okay? And this reminds me of my last thing that I would of course recommend is a cell phone. Okay, you never know when you're going to be out there and you need to communicate with ski patrol, you're lost. Also, most of the bigger resorts now have some sort of a map or apps that you can get, so you can pull up right where you are on your app a lot of the time. I know some of the resorts you can click on a button and it'll show you using your GPS right where you are on the mountain, so that's super handy as well. But cell phone, always important. A few other things. The buddy system is always a good thing, especially if you're at a new resort where you're not too familiar with your way around. I always tell people, if you don't know, don't go. So this really comes in handy when you're going off of some of the main runs and kind of exploring in the trees, and try to get your bearings before you do such a thing. And like I said, it's always good to have a friend with you in case you get in some sort of trouble. One other thing is, if you do see ropes up, don't duck the ropes and go exploring, especially alone. The reason we have those ropes up on the mountain is because that's closed terrain. So underneath all that nice fresh powder, You may see some fallen trees or limbs or rocks, a lot of things that we don't maintain, or any of the resorts maintain. And a lot of the time you can get down, but you can't get back up. Okay, so you stay inbound, stay safe, be aware, and I hope some of these tips do help you guys out. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.